What's up, guys, and welcome back. Yesterday at the Global League Championship, or Global Chess League, or Global, I don't know, Anand and Carlsen faced each other. Now, this was a rapid game, but whenever they play, it's always fireworks. Now, Carlsen with the white pieces here opens with c4, the English opening, c5 by Anand, g3, knight c6, bishop g2, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, d3, d6, queen. Wait. Okay. Wait. I understand all the moves here, but what is queen d2? Isn't it like the stupid queen moves I play in the opening? No. Bro, this is a deep move. Okay, Carlsen did not invent it, but it has a nice idea. Queen d2, so knight f6, you play b3 here. Castles, bishop b2, bishop d7. So let's go back. If you play b3 here, okay, you lose your knight, obviously. You have to defend your knight. If you play bishop here, then you can't play b3 and you put your bishop on b2. And if you play queen c2 instead, let's say d6, if you go queen c2, then your queen could be attacked. That's why you go queen d2 here, and then b3, and then bishop b2, and now after bishop d7, knight f3, rook b8. Preparing for b5. You cannot play it immediately, but you can prepare for it with a6, castles, a6, trying to go for b5, and now Carlsen plays knight d5. Now he wants to open up for his bishop, trade some pieces in the center. Now if you take, then I can first take your bishop, and after king takes here, I can take c takes, attacking your knight. And now let's say knight e5, then you have to move your knight somewhere. The knight takes, pawn takes, and your pawns are not very impressive here. Let's say queen c3, both pawns are attacked. Queen c7, I don't know. Yeah, you can play b4 here, you can bring your rook. Your pawn structure is not very impressive. And also if you, let's say, go knight here, then this pawn, I don't know how you're going to defend it. Maybe this is not the best move because you can defend queen b4. How are you going to defend your pawn? So you have to be careful here. You don't want to take as black. So Anand played here e6. Now a better move here was actually e5. Now e5 looks stupid because this knight cannot be kicked out now any longer. But this way you advance on the queen side, on the king side. You prevent the bishop trade, and also let's say white takes. Just to show you the idea here. Let's say something. You go back, you have f5, you have e4, then f4, you have an attack on the king side. Anand played e6, a fine move. Knight takes, bishop takes, and now a nice move by Carlsen. Now, a weak player would, like you maybe, or me, would play bishop takes on f6 and just, yeah, okay, trade everything and continue the game, or maybe offer a draw here. Carlsen played d4, a very important move. Now, if you take with the c pawn, then after knight takes, you're left with a weak d6 pawn here. And whenever you push, let's say you can push, you cannot now, but let's say you can. I can take, and you have an isolated pawn. So if you take, you will get a weak pawn regardless if you manage to push it or not. Now Anand played b5. A better move here was actually queen e7, and after, let's say, I don't know, rook ad1 something, then later you can capture. So you prolong the capture, you wait for it, let's say, just to show you the idea. Now rook f d8, for instance. So you don't capture until your pawn is defended enough. So now you brought your rook, the queen is defending, and you can later move your bishop or take and put your bishop here and defend, and later go for b5. The way Anand did it here was immediately b5, and now after d takes, now you have to take the bishop. After queen takes, now Anand played d takes. You can play this, but then c takes on this d6, and this pawn is very annoying. It's a passed pawn, it's on the 6th rank, and I can easily defend it. So Anand took back, and you see what happened. Now these pawns are weak, they are very advanced, and the pieces are not active enough to defend them. So you see the queen is still here. The queen can come to defend eventually, but after I take and bring the rook, it's very hard to defend. And that's what Carlsen does. He takes on b5, and after a takes, now rook fc1. Not rook ac1 is definitely possible, but this pawn is weak. And this rook is doing nothing. And the fight is, it's very important to have a rook here on the c file, but also this pawn has to be defended somehow. And maybe if you play a4 in the future, you could create a passed pawn and defend it with the rook. So it's better to play rook fc1 here, although rook ac1 is also playable. And now c4 by Anand. It won't help you to defend the pawn because it's gonna fold. That's what I meant by instead of b5, just bringing the queen. And then the rook, you have to defend your pawns here. But Anand decided to advance his pawns before having enough development to like protect these weaknesses in his structure. And after c takes, and now there's no way to defend the pawn. Now c4 by Anand. Okay, an interesting move. Now Magnus takes, of course, and after b takes, this is Anand's idea. You attack the queen, so you have no time to take the pawn, but queen c3, and now the pawn is falling. e5. Trying to create something. Maybe the bishop comes to e6, f5, trying to fight in this position. Queen takes. Now if you go bishop e6, you lose your knight. So queen f6, queen e7, sorry, and now h4 by Carlsen. Look, this h4 move, if you want to play it, you either have to be a very strong player or you have to not know what you're doing. So h4, if I don't find a good move in the position, I play it. But it's usually a good move, especially if there's no knight on f6, then h4 is always fine in these positions, especially let's say in this position, because there's a pawn on g6, there's no dark squared bishop, so advancing this one could be annoying for black, and there's no knight on f6 here to jump to g4. So h4 in these positions usually is playable. h4, a nice move. Rook fc8 in front of the queen, so he moves his queen. Look, regardless if there is no good discovery or not, don't let the queen hanging in front of the rook, just move it. The rook goes to the queen goes to e4, and now bishop f5, and now queen e3. So Carlsen moves his queen to the dark squares here, and now e5 by Anand, and now knight g5. So this pawn is attacked, it's very hard to defend it. Now knight b4. There is a fork here, but it's not so easy to achieve. After rook takes, and now bishop takes on e4. Notice the bishop defends the c2 square, and if you take, I don't take with the knight. I take queen takes. Now if you take, there is no fork anymore, and yeah, I mean you have to take. And I moved the queen, so no fork here. So bishop takes, and now knight goes to c2. Now bishop takes on c2, queen takes. So this is Anand's idea. Anand is like, okay, you take two pawns, you have two pawns as white, but I take the bishop here. This bishop is stronger than this knight. This king is weak. I mean, if the bishop comes here to the light squares and with the rook, or maybe here, and there's a lot of pressure here. But okay, white is still up two pawns. Okay, they are doubled, but two pawns are two pawns. So king f8. f1, defending the e2 square or e2 pawn. Bishop c8. That's a nice move. Now bishop c8, Anand wants to go bishop a6, attacking the e2 pawn. So Magnus here plays a nice move, knight f3. After bishop a6, knight d4. The knight defends e2, attacks the rook. The knight is on a dark square, so this light square bishop cannot attack it. There's no pawn that could push it away. This knight is a monster, and it's defended as well. So a nice square for the knight. Rook goes to c3, and now king f2, defending the pawn. By the way, in the endgame, the king has to play. You cannot win this endgame without playing with your king. The king is a very strong piece in the endgame, so use it as much as possible. Rook a3, and now knight c2, kicking the rook back, and now rook a4, and now a3. So Magnus is pushing. Now this pawn is on a dark square, so this bishop cannot attack it, and it's defended as well by the knight. Bishop b7, and now knight goes to b4. King g7, and now the knight goes to d3. The knight is coming here to c5 to fork the bishop and the rook. So rook goes to a5, stopping knight c5, and then and now rook b1, attacking the bishop, and here bishop d5 by Anand, not allowing rook b3 and defending this pawn. So you have to go back now to rook a1, but it's fine. Now bishop e4. The knight goes to b2, and now king goes to h6, and now knight c4. King the rook back, and now a4. Passed pawns must be pushed. You have to push the pawn. Every time your opponent allows you to push it, you have to push it. King goes to h5 now, and now the knight drops back, attacking this bishop, and now after this rook check. So let's say you go here. Now king g4 here with the rook coming, there's a strong attack on you, and also these pawns will fall. So king here, I mean, just I don't know, you push the pawn. Now this check. Now if you go here, then your position is really bad. I mean, this bishop here, the king is close, the rook is coming here. Your king is in trouble. So you have to stop king g4 and the infiltration of the rook. So Carlsen plays a nice move, knight d2. Now okay, now if you play here, you lose your bishop, that's obvious, but black can play rook f6, which is what Anand played, and now after knight f3, now Anand played, that's a smart idea. The knight defends the f3 square, attacks the bishop. Now after this check, knight f3, you blockade the check, and now black has nothing. Anand played king g4, and after a5, he resigned. Wait, why did he resign? Can't he just take? Yeah, but after king e2, how are you stopping this pawn? Okay, you want to take the pawn here? Or let's say you have to go back. I mean, how should you do this? Yeah, rook f6, you push. Say rook d6. You have no time to stop the pawn. So, okay, you take this pawn with check, but then how are you stopping my a pawn? So after king g5, Anand resigned. Sorry, after a5. I will push this pawn. You have to eventually give up your bishop to stop it, and I will have an extra piece and a pawn here for nothing. So after king g4 and a5, Anand resigned. What a game. But wait, where did Anand go wrong? I mean, Anand actually made no mistake in this game, or like no huge mistake. The only mistake I can point out here is like here when he started advancing the pawns without having his pieces developed. But that's like a minor mistake, but that's enough for Carlsen. Just give him a weak pawn here, give him weaknesses, and that's all he needs to win the game. And I don't know if you can see it here, but Carlsen's accuracy is, how much is it? Wait. It's 97%. Oh, this guy is very strong. So that was the game. I hope you enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.